Check it up, son. Check it out. Now, 50 Cent and Meek Mill. Now, we thought the beef was at least dormant, but we get to find out it's squashed. Now, Meek Mill been doing a lot of interviews recently, and he starts speaking, and he's speaking very honestly about everything. And he said, listen, man, I know a lot of people think me and 50, we still on that. Now, we saw each other, and we talk like men. Because we both move a certain type of way, and if we didn't want it to go any further, we had to kill that shit, and we had to talk, and we killed it. Now, if you guys don't know why they were beefing in the first place, there was tension all along while they were supposedly cool. Keep in mind, 50's beefing with Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the boss of Meek. Meek is cool with, of course, like Slowbucks and them, and of course, Slowbucks and them is not cool with 50. So that already shows. Imagine like you and somebody, y'all are cool, but every one of your enemies is their friend, and every one of their friends is your enemies. It's not gonna go good. Not to mention, there were some situations on the gram, and yes, a lot of this shit comes from Instagram, where 50 thought that Meek was taking shots at him because people were saying, or they were trying to say 50 was a snitch for doing certain things, especially in the Rick Ross case, because he was hanging out with the guy that was suing or cooperating with the police against Ross. So a lot of people were saying, yo, 50 is kind of on that rat shit, okay? Now, Meek had a lot of subliminal posts that was saying, if you hanging out with the rat, you're a rat. And of course, that's why the beef kicked off. Now, I'm glad these two gentlemen decided to squash the beef. Of course, Meek is saying he's prepared for whatever. 50, we all know that he's been moving around with trained ninjas for years. So to hear these guys have now squashed the issue, number one, it tells me that Meek is open to squashing issues with people he has issues with. Number two, that Meek still has a lot of respect for 50 Cent. Just unfortunately, it appears that all of his friends is 50's ops. And because of that, you guys could have that respect, but you got to kind of keep each other's arm's length, just because if you don't want there to be a situation where you're going to be in the middle of, you can't be too close. So I'm glad these two gentlemen kind of squashed their beef or squashed their issues, because believe me, it could have gone a lot further and a lot worse, but I'm glad it didn't go there. All right? Get a comment, you guys like them, subscribe. The beef between 50 and Meek was squashed 9 months ago. We would have never known until he actually talks about it. Ain't that a bitch? I'm up.